This episode of WoW Weekly is brought to you by WoWweekly.net, your source for Warcraft and Blizzard news, guides, and editorials.
This week in Warcraft, the Friends and Family Alpha has finally started, Stormwind might be repaired in 6.0, and surprise surprise, the Horde has won the Azeroth Choppers contest, but was anyone really expecting anything else? I'm Mezzy, and welcome to WoW Weekly episode number 36. This week, I'm joined by someone new who hasn't been here before. Welcome, Carl.
Hello, thank you very much.
So, for those wondering, you don't have a picture of yourself. That's why we have the picture of my parents' dog. How about you introduce yourself? Tell a bit about yourself.
I don't really know what to say. Well, with Warcraft, I played since beta. Always been a healer main. Little bit worried about the expansion in terms of that, because they're completely changing my class. I'm from England but live in Sweden. I don't know, is there anything else? Anything else you're interested in?
I'd say that's a good intro. Also joining us is Matt. How are you, Matt?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm not going to annoy you today, it's alright, sorted.
Alright, well that'll be a first. So, Alpha has finally started. About freaking time. Because in the past, beta took roughly, I believe, 6 months for the expansion to actually come out. So, one of the things that Blizzard has said is that it probably won't take as long this time, but it's still looking like our December release date then. Are we happy though that it's finally out? It's finally getting started?
Of course, who wouldn't be? It's like, oh my god, something's happening at last. We can look at something. There might be videos, and there is a video of the first dungeon, because I watched it this morning. So, yeah, of course we've got to be happy. At least it's something to look forward to, ish, maybe. But for me and for healers, I think we're all just sitting there going,
Yeah, going from a disc priest looking at the expansion's a little bit depressing so far.
Well, it is still just an alpha though, so there's bound to be many changes. We just started on Thursday, so it's been out for two and a half days.
oh my god, change everything.
Yeah.
Why haven't they changed it yet? 2.5 days is plenty of time.
Oh yeah, of course.
Have all the disc priest mains on the alpha not started raging yet?
Well, there's only a very small crowd in the alpha so far. Just friends and family and some press/fan sites. So
Yeah, Fat Boss are on there at the minute, because they did the is it Blood Maul dungeon? The one dungeon released at the minute.
yeah, it's the only one that's up.
Yeah,
can
they've
check very quickly.
released their video of that, and I watched it this morning. That looks quite interesting. So, yeah, so you never know. It's going to be interesting. I'm dreading the whole healer experience, but yeah, let's put cast times and everything. Woo!
Yeah, you've moaned about that one before, but so
You
far,
never moan. Constructive criticism is always the way to go.
of course. So so far only Blood Maul Slag Mines, the dungeon that's open, and only Frostfire Ridge for the Horde is open. So had the alpha got delayed because of the revamping quest flows, seeing as garrisons were going to be more integral parts of the leveling experience. So I'm assuming that they finished Frost Ridge first before moving on to Shadowmoon Valley for the Alliance. So it's bound to take some more time before the Alliance content gets released as well. So if you're worrying about there only being Horde content so far, it's because the Alliance content isn't available yet. Now, other than Fat Boss, Wowhead, and Mo Champion, those regular sites are on the alpha, of course, as well. We're not yet, but we should be soon. So hopefully, lots of alpha content coming from us within the next few weeks, at least. One of the things that Wowhead has shown, has checked out, is a few old dungeons. Let's see, it's Black Phantom Deeps, Razorfin Crawl, and Razorfin Downs. Now they're being revamped, and they did this. This was said on Twitter. In some downtime after patch 5.4 got released. Now, why would they do that when they say they need all that time for 6.0 and beyond? Isn't that a bit strange to first say we won't do a filler raid because that'll take time away from Warlords of Draenor development, but then still revamp 3 dungeons? Matt, isn't that odd, to say the least?
Maybe slightly contradictive is the best way of putting it. Yeah, you know what they've said. They've said lots of times that we're trying to put all of our manpower into getting the expansion sorted, especially when they delay. And then you never know, they may have thought we've got a bit more time, we'll do this as a bit something extra for people, because I think those probably all did need a bit of a revamp nowadays. But yeah, depending on how much time, depending on manpower, would not have taken the same amount of time as doing a new raid or even just a filler raid. Everything's there, they're just changing, bringing it up to date. But yeah, it's a little bit of a kick in the teeth for people who've been waiting for news on the alpha and the beta, when they say we're doing this, we're working everything we can, then you find out, well, we had a bit of downtime, we're a bit bored, so we thought we'd do this.
Yeah, exactly. Carl, what is your take on it?
Oh yeah, sort of same really. When there's no filler raid and having raided Siege of Orgrimmar for a slightly overly prolonged period, it feels like it does feel a little bit disappointing to them.
A little bit.
Well, yeah, we've got time to be doing this.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a little bit frustrating when a little bit exhausted with Siege of Orgrimmar, if I'm honest.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's great.
There's John D. Malcrock.
Oh, yeah, I love that place. That fight is the best fight of all time. Yay.
Yeah. So, shouldn't they maybe perhaps turn these 3 into level 100 heroic dungeons as well? Give us extra content that way?
It would have made more sense, because no one was expecting content now as well, so it just seems a little bit odd.
Yeah, so Blizzard, if you're watching this, turn it into level 100 content so that it's actually useful for Warlords of Draenor as well, because not many are going to be playing low-level characters anyway. Especially with the level 90 boost. I mean, come on. Get us something extra.
That does seem, especially when, to be fair, I even completely forgot about that. If you do take that into account as well, level 90 boost, so you can have a lot of people, they want to come in to play the game that they have missed and not played for a while, yet so they're going to get automatically boosted up to that level, and then it's going to be, oh, by the way, you've been boosted, we've revamped all these dungeons you've missed.
Yeah, and like we've been saying for weeks or months on the podcast, is they kind of should put something extra in that they didn't announce at BlizzCon, so this would be a good way to, give us something extra.
Yeah. Caverns of Time, also, I don't know, something you can say you have to go back to those dungeons or something like that.
To be fair, Caverns of Time has maybe been overdone. I know what you mean, that gist, yeah. That
gist of it is like you've got to go back to these places or something. Like sort of what they did with Shadowfang when they put the quest in there, and it sort of was relevant all the way. I quite liked Shadowfang.
It made it a lot more interesting when it's got the continuous quest thing for it.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit nicer now. It feels a lot more linear, rather than just sort of random sporadic XP.
Yeah, it was just random. Pull everything, kill everything, yay!
Now that feels like there's a purpose to it, which is quite good.
Yeah, it's really gotten the same treatment as Deadmines, Shadowfang Keep. Which one did we get? Oh yes, the Scarlets at level 90.
They're a hell of a lot nicer now.
Yeah, they're a lot better. And just the quest flow really helps. So I'm sure that they did this type of redesign for those three as well. And it's not that they just put in new bosses though. From what I saw, there's some new art in them as well. So it's not like it was only encounter redesign. It's really changing the instance itself a bit. There's some cool new murlocs in Black Phantom Deeps, I believe. So that's definitely worth checking out.
Oh, that's why they did it then. That's the reason. You've now explained everything they did. They wanted to design some cool new Murlocs.
Of course.
Obviously, to go with these cool new Murlocs, there's going to be a cool new Murloc toy that you can buy, and a cool new Murloc trading card that you can get on Hearthstone that you can, ironically, buy.
Well, on the subject of Hearthstone, shouldn't Extramus be coming out soon? It is this summer now.
It would be nice for people that play it actively. I know a lot of people who feel like they've been waiting for that for years. Obviously, they haven't, but it feels like it.
So I've been waiting for that because I play Hearthstone every now and then. I don't play it a lot, but when I've sort of thought, do you know what? I'll wait for that Naxxramas to come out, and then I'm going to give it a bit more of a go and see how it is. And every time I look, it's like, oh, still not out. Oh, crap. But you never know.
Yeah, it'll come out eventually. Some other small stuff that hasn't really been mentioned yet by Blizzard themselves is the Darkmoon Fair. It's getting a new racing minigame in Warlords of Draenor. Are you guys looking forward to more Darkmoon Fair stuff, or do you think that they should just leave it alone now?
Yeah, I think the whole island was more than enough that was needed for that, to be completely honest. And adding the Dark Moon Rabbit that then you have to compete with hundreds of people, especially that being cross-realm, just felt a little bit overly done. Bit unnecessary.
Yeah. The only thing I've ever actually done on Darkmoon Fair, I think, is I went there when it first came out. Thought, this is alright. Never went back until I think it was Nath that went, oh, we have the Darkmoon Rabbit. Who wants to join for that? I went, yeah, I will. And I got Darkmoon Rabbit. I was like, oh, cool. I think I did it twice and got it.
Twice? Seriously?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to need to talk after the podcast, I think.
Yeah, I think I killed it twice and I got it. I was sort of like, oh, that's cool. And I've never been back. I think I've helped a couple of people on that, like to help out and kill it, but never been back there since. For me, and I presume a lot of people, yay, a race. We'll look at it once and think, yay, and then never again.
Can it compete with the mighty Mario Kart will be the question.
Well,
yes.
That is the thing, especially with the new one being so cool.
Yeah, it's quite popular apparently. I didn't realize that it was still popular at all.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart's amazing. I used to have that on my old Wii, the last one. It was a wicked game.
I don't think I've played it since the Nintendo 64, so
Oh my god.
it's been a while.
Well, I've resisted the urge of getting a Wii U this time because plain and simply the crap. So I've resisted that urge this time. I've not got one, but it is something may look into if anything takes me fancy. And Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers come out is another one. But anyway, divulging back to WoW.
So yeah, before we get on to the discussion point, because we're going through things quite quickly, is there anything particular you're looking forward to from the alpha, or that you would like to see?
For me, mainly, it's just say I watched that Fat Boss video and say if you want to have a look at it, I don't know if you have Mezzy or Carl and you do fancy having a look. It is quite a good video, and it does. One of the fights in there is it looks a really coolly designed fight. And that's the third fight in there. It's like on a bridge, and there's a pretty cool mechanic for the enraged mechanic, and it does look quite nice. It's more. There's two sides to it. You can start off whichever side you want. Layout is actually quite similar to, which now I think about it, to what's that place, J Temple, where you can go right or left, and there's a third boss, and then the main boss.
Yeah.
So it's quite similar to that in layout, but it does look pretty cool. The right hand side's got more trolls and ogres, and the left hand side's more off for that fight. It just looks really quite nice. Some of the new models are on there as well. So I'm looking forward to the new models, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how it goes. I was watching, I think, the healer, no, the Shadow Priest had 52k health
Okay.
That sounds
on
good.
there, and it was doing it was, I think, at about 60k mana, I think, as well, or something like that. So it has all. It's quite nice to see what random ideas of where we're going to be on the squish as well.
So 52k health would be roughly start of Icecairn Citadel levels, wouldn't it? I
I believe so. It was a fair while ago, then.
Yeah, at the very least. And Carl, what about you? What?
Mine's a lot more simple, I think, overall. Mine is just a fresh challenge with being able to, I don't know, really enjoy playing my characters again. Something when it feels a bit more fresh. I do like the idea of everything being scaled down quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
so
think that's going to be a pretty good idea.
like the only reason I've started playing my shaman a little bit more is because my fiance is got an elemental shaman, and one raid she wasn't feeling very well, so I started playing on it, and I really did actually quite enjoy it. I quite like the rotation. It's because it's really easy, and I was doing all. I quite enjoyed it. I thought, I quite like this. So I'm just started playing my shaman a bit more. But apart from that, I think I'll log on to Vayme Druid to raid, and I may log on my tank for Shadow Priest every now and then just to get some herbs or get some mine for a bit of cash here and there. But apart from that, I don't play. I play as much other stuff as I can at the moment, just to see where it comes from. And as I told Mezzy earlier, I can see exactly why we have garrisons now, which is going to be interesting.
And why is that, Matt?
Because WildStar have already got them in the pretty much the exact same layout.
Do they have outposts as well?
No, the difference is, the difference is with that. I think you get the house at level 14, level 15 in WildStar, and it's all evolved around. You can get decor for it, you can get different chair, you can get as much as you want for it. You can tart the whole place up for a house, but then there's the lots like WoW, like the design for the thingamabobs, which I've completely forgotten the name of. I said it 2 minutes ago, and you can get anything you want there. So on mine at the moment, I've got, I think it's 6 small lots and 2 medium ones, and you can put anything you want in there. I've got mining nodes, I've got a beer tent, just random things like that, and that's at level 15. It looks very, very similar to what we were doing.
Okay, well, Blizzard always copies things just right and manages to change them enough. So, I'd say that's fine as usual. It's a Blizzard MO, really.
Yeah, I'm not. No, it's not a bad thing copying. So it's good if they do find something innovative to do. But I always have thought that WoW should have done this earlier. Did something like the garrisons earlier. They've had the player base and the way to do it, but I think they've been delaying it. But now someone else is doing it. It's probably kick-started them into actually getting their arsenal together.
Maybe. Thing is, though, garrisons were announced in November last year. Was it already known by then how WildStar would handle housing, if housing at all?
I think it was. Everyone knew it was going to be in there because I think it was in Alpha. It was getting close to starting Alpha there.
Alright, but people didn't know how they would do it.
No.
So maybe they didn't copy it.
They could have changed a few bits and bobs, but they've done it quite well.
Yeah. So let's just move straight on onto today's discussion point. In 6.0, the Encounter Journal is being enhanced in a way. It will now show, or rather, it will also say what you have to do in an encounter depending on your role. Such as for a DPS, that you have to kill at least one of the 2 engineers on Garrosh. My question for today's discussion is, does this take the journal too far? Shouldn't players have to figure out what they have to do for themselves, or is this type of hand-holding just fine? All 3 questions are kind of the same, but different in a way. Carl, let's have you start on this one.
I don't know. When I read it at first, I'm in 2 minds with it, because I think for heroic progression and things where it is all about adapting and learning how best to handle it. I think if it goes through, it will somewhat ruin the competitive scene a little bit more at a higher level. But I think for your 3-4 day a week guilds, in some ways, I think it might actually be nice because it will take a little bit of the pressure off the leadership because you won't be needing to actually add that much hand holding. I don't know. I still always found, despite the majority of raiders in WoW obviously being non-hardcore, I've always just found the hardcore side of it a lot more interesting personally, so I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's already enough ways in this game with guides and stuff for people to actually know how to play their characters. They shouldn't need more help.
Yeah, I have to agree. Because the encounter journal already took it to a new level. You actually got to see every single ability and phase that a boss has. You should be able to piece together the information and get a tactic out of that, like we did for Siege of Orgrimmar when it first was released. And taking it to the next step, you gotta let people still think for themselves. And I know a lot of people don't. I'm gonna be really mean isn't the right word, but rude. I'm going to be rude and say a majority of people doesn't think enough. They want to just be boosted, but
Yeah,
like
you
this,
met
for example,
Mr. Matthew. Yeah.
every
Yeah.
week.
Every week Matt gets boosted in Heroic Siege of Orgrimmar. Let
Yeah.
the world know. But
I always
yeah.
got a boost on Malcroc anyway, so that's fine.
Of course, of course. But yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's taking it a bit too far. Matt, what do you think?
I don't know whether to be devil's advocate or just say, yeah. Um, do I see the good points of it? Yes, I can see the good points of it. But when you look at the deepest, darkest part of the whole idea is the fact that how many different things do we need to help people get a grips of a fight? Now we're going to have LFR, which is the pure stripped down. The boss will not kill you unless you're repeatedly dumb, which unfortunately, sorry, a lot of people do LFR can be. Then you're going to have normal, which is the new flex, which is the next level up, where it shouldn't kill you, but you can take that many people in anyway. You can sort of blitz through it, and then so they're going to be drip feeding all of the content to people anyway.
Yeah.
So that then makes them think that they need to tell people what to do now as well. When it's like you said, there's that many stuff you can find out yourself. You can find out tactics that you need to do. You can find out a hell of a lot more information from bits and bobs on the internet than what they'll tell you. So it's a bit of a waste of time. I can see why they've done it because they're obsessed with the whole trying to make it easier for people to know what they mean, but it's a bit of a waste of time. And I'd much rather that time taken writing those few notes been developed into shortening it by a month or two, getting the expansion in.
Well, I don't think it would shorten it that much.
Well, they might have had some downtime or some. Oh no, wait a minute, that got taken up.
Yeah, that got taken up by low-level dungeons.
Yeah,
So,
sorry, I
yeah.
have to know about that.
Clearly the biggest gap in this game.
The low level, clearly, if anyone.
Yeah.
When was the last time? This is actually a bad note, but when was the last time either of you did a low level dungeon?
A couple months back.
I
When was the character boost announced?
yeah, about a couple months. I've got a level, I think 25 druid that I'm leveling on a horde, and
You're trying to learn how to play Druid again?
yeah, I actually learned how to tank.
Oh, God.
Hey, Thrash, gotta love it. Anyway, that Thrash is the only skill you need leveling, tanking as a level 20 character because no one cares anyway. But you're not there long enough. People do not care about the tactics, so it sort of highlights the fact that revamping it was bad.
Yeah. As long as they turn it into level 100 content, because why wouldn't they? They've already done the art and the coding and stuff like that. All they need to do is up the numbers at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't see them not doing it. It would be very strange.
But this is Blizzard. Welcome to the world of strange.
Yes. But
I know
don't-
why WoW got delayed.
Why?
They're all pissing around with bikes.
Yes, the frickin' Horde won.
They're all there thinking, do you know what? We need to get a game out, but I want to do something really cool. I know what I want. I want to get a chopper. Because you know for a fact that one of those has now got that bike. You know, one of the owners is now sitting on that thing thinking, oh yeah.
They are both on display now at Blizzard HQ behind red line things. I'm not sure what you call them, but there's
Red
been
lines?
pictures on Twitter.
You know, red line things. Normally those red lines.
Yeah, I don't know what those things are called. Anyway,
I believe it's just been said.
Can I please say something? Do you know we were talking about the standard of people on LFR? I'm doing an LFR at the moment. I've gone into Galacrass on the trash with wipes, at which point the raid leader states, I will not tolerate wipes on trash.
On LFR.
On LFR.
Well, good luck to him with the tolerating. Because
so-
he does
so-
not control it.
So to be fair, maybe the Dungeon Journal telling people how to... Is he going to explain how to do trash as well? I think that's going to be the most important thing. Will it say there's going to be a few trash backs, there's going to be a lift?
You're a Cluffy, do not tank mobs. Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's game breaking. Thank you.
Well, I think the real question is, are there going to be more treasurers? Or treasure keepers? Whatever that thing is called that mind controls people.
I hope not.
I merely have one thing that I care. Honestly, I mean, the whole healing side, actually all of the hours I spend raiding, fair enough, but I do not want to ever have to do looking for raid and stuff ever again. Like, be forced to do it.
That
Same
is...
as if you're trying to trying to gear up an ult. It's the only reason I don't play ults is because I would have to do looking for raid to get the legendary cloak. I think that's the most ridiculous thing they've ever put into this game.
Yeah, it's... that's partly why I'm doing it now.
If you're doing looking for raid, it should be because you don't actually have other options. It should be to help those people out. It shouldn't be for people that actually are in raiding guilds and would have been able to sort stuff themselves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to put a down on it. It's very, very irritating.
Well, it's a good thing that LFR is going to be equal to heroic dungeons in Worlds of Eternal.
Indeed.
And with that, really just a tourist mode to see the content.
Which is
Because
fair enough.
that's what it should be for. That was the original design, and we've talked about this before. It's... I'm glad they're changing it. They're making stuff right.
Well,
I think
at the
that should
moment,
matter.
remember, it's alpha.
Well, if they change that...
And there's already been people crying,
Yeah.
bitching, annoying.
But if they
Yeah.
change it, then I'll just send feedback, because... No, don't change it again.
If they change it, you'll send feedback. Ooh.
Yes.
You rebel, you.
Yeah,
Is he living on the edge?
definitely.
I did not like that. I'm going to leave bad feedback. It's like the most dreaded words on eBay.
Right. I think,
Some serious tangents going on here, aren't there?
yes, the last 5 minutes have been quite awkward, so I think we should just end it. If you liked this awkward podcast for some reason, I don't know why you would. Other than maybe Matt's being weird sometimes. Please comment, subscribe, click the like button on YouTube. If you have ideas for discussion points, let us know in the comments, and who knows, we might discuss it in one of the next podcasts.
Matt's services as a druid tank are also available, guys.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. He's absolutely amazing.
Best Druid Tank EU.
Yeah, right. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/WoWweekly, at Twitter at twitter.com/bbmezzy, And you can, of course, check out our website, wowweekly.net, where we keep you up to date with the latest WoW news, occasional editorials. There should be one coming out within the next, hopefully, week or so, about the in-game toys and different trinkets. So if you're looking to collect more, maybe you'll find something interesting in that. Thanks to Carl for joining us.
It's alright. I just sort of listened for the majority of it. I forgot how much Mr. Matt can talk.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll have you back sometime and you can talk more. How does that sound?
Sure.
Thanks to Matt, of course, for joining.
Always happy to be here, darling.
You
There
had
we
to get
go.
that one, didn't you?
Oh,
Well,
kinky.
thank you, Honey Bun.
Okay.
Things have gotten really weird now, so thanks for
It's got
listening /
creepy.
watching. I'm Mezzy, and we'll see you again next time.